Blake, how does it feel being back down under?
Taskete.
Yeah.
Taskete.
Is
Taskete.
that a kind of pasta?
Yeah.
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 Nice.
助けて、私はオーストラリアの白人男性の体に閉じ込められています。
Oh, this is going to be a long episode.
Nah, Japan was wild.
It's good to have you back, Blake.
It's good to be back.
I bet.
We missed you.
I was missing you.
Damn.
The landing was pretty fucking rough. I thought we were going to die.
Jeez.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It was a little bit fucked.
Damn.
Probably the roughest landing I've ever had.
Damn.
Yeah.
What went wrong?
It was
Turbulence?
it was just, I don't know, very windy, or we were like rocking. Like as we were about to touch down, I think usually we touch down sooner, but he was like delaying it because like the wings were like, if these were the wings, you'd usually have like this. We were like,
Oh.
and you'd look to the side and you'd be like, oh, that's like the ground. And you'd look to the right of the plane. It's like, we're in the sky, but we're like not that far off the ground.
Yeah.
And it's like, we got, to keep descending towards hitting the tarmac. And it's like fucking like on a pretty heavy angle. And you're
Damn.
like, oh shit. It looks like the wings like about to hit the fucking ground. And we're like, oh, there's like a couple of people like, whoa. Like you hear in the plane, like people are like, oh shit. It's not like a oh, it's like a oh. Like anyway, but it's
It's
Did
crazy.
you accept that in that moment you could have died?
no.
Oh. Really?
Well, I mean, I had high hopes, but it was like a oh shit, this could actually go. Like it's one gust of wind when you're like that, you could just fucking.
It's crazy how pilots have that many people's lives just in their hands. Like, what if you had just one suicidal pilot?
Yeah, they're called kamikazes.
Kamikazes.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Suicide
ones
pilots.
that the suicide. Yeah. But is there people?
They do exist, George. Someone has thought of that before.
It's happened.
Funny though, because I feel like if I was in that plane, I would have fully accepted my death. It happens most times I'm on a boat. Like we went on a ferry to Rottnest pretty much as soon as you were back. And
That's fucked.
yeah, and yeah, I just pretty much every time I go on a boat over the ocean, I accept that I'm likely going to die. And I think about everything and I'm always like, you know what? This is an okay place to die.
That's
Really?
a terrible outlook, though. I
I
feel.
feel like drowning would be the worst way to die.
But it's an okay time. Because really, it'll be a terrible way to die for a few minutes. And then I will be too dead to care.
Isn't that any death? Like imagine
Pretty
being
much.
burnt alive.
But it's like
Oh,
I would rather
couldn't.
die there with like, I was with my mister, and then on the way back I was with you boys. So I was like, you know what? There's no one else I'd
So
rather
the
die with.
whole
It's very sweet,
ride
but
back, you were like, fuck it.
Well, not fuck it, but I was like, it could happen.
because you can't swim. Anyways, since you've been back, have you had time to process any Japan stories that you would like to tell?
So we'll keep it nightlife related. I was on a night out with my mates. We didn't know where to go. I think it's a Monday night. We're like, fuck, where do we go? We're in Osaka, second most populated city in Japan. And then just picked a random nightclub to go to. And we rock up and it's like pretty fucking busy. And then we're like, oh shit, this is like a pretty poppin' club. Get in. So it's like 2,000 yen, which is $20 entry. So it's all right. But then you get 2 free drinks with it. So it's
That's not too bad.
so it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
And then, we see these Aussie blokes. And they turn out to be from Perth and we chat to them for a little
No
bit.
shit.
And then he turns to me. He's like, oh, are you keen to see Conductor tonight? And I'm like, what? And he's like, Conductor, like artist. I'm
Just
like,
a random Japanese club as well.
and I'm like, oh, he's playing here? He's like, yeah. I'm like, no shit. So then like the whole night perspective just changes. And it's like this like wild event. Like I feel like the best nights go unplanned.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
He finishes his set and he sticks around for a bit. I'm not sure if he was with anyone, but he didn't seem to be, chatting to anyone. So I was like, oh, I went up, said hi. I mean, you could tell me and him, apart from anyone else in the room, he's like one of the tallest people in the room. I'm like the second tallest person in the room. So it's
Damn,
like
so he's taller than you.
about as tall as me. Yeah.
Jeez.
We just chat for a little bit and
That's pretty crazy because obviously during the time when you were watching him in Wildlands, you just never thought that would happen in your life.
You'd have no idea.
It's whack.
It's crazy to meet someone you've watched on stage for so long and realize that they're actually a real person.
I mean, I've never had I've always looked at people and be like, they're people.
Mm.
Speaking of, it's when I saw Ice Spice at Listen Out, I had that. I was like, okay, she's actually real.
Yeah.
This is fucking weird.
Yeah.
I just couldn't stop laughing the whole time because it was
It's
just
such
like
a meme.
everything that you see online is the same that's happening right now. Like the cameramen were like doing their thing on a.
Doing what thing?
Doing their thing on a.
Ice Spice was like shaking her ass and shit. And they have camera angles set up specifically to capture low angle, like zoomed in, and it's fucked.
What?
And they've got like X's on the stage.
So everyone's
So like, shake your ass here.
Yeah. Well, did it?
No, I don't know, but
Likely. Everyone's like singing it, and I'm just laughing.
Yeah, that's one of the. I can't believe she gets to headline festivals, all because she figured out this move.
what was that? Do you want to explain to the viewers that didn't get to see that one? That one that you just did?
So for the audio listeners, what I did was I stood up, I turned around, I bent over, and I covered my pussy as I shook my ass.
Oh wow.
So that was just one night in Japan.
So we started in Tokyo for 12 days, and then we went to Hakuba, which is up in the mountains. So we snowboard. The first 12 days in Tokyo were great, and then when you had the downtime after snowboarding in Hakuba, you know, just chilling, laying in bed, it's like really started to kick in that I was like missing. There wasn't like very like 'cause Tokyo's so stimulating. There's so many lights. Like we're going clubbing like every night, like drinking pretty much every night. So it's like we're always doing something with the boys. And then Hakuba was like, okay, I can relax. And I start thinking, I'm like, I really miss Perth. Miss my missus. Miss the boys, sizzle. And then I'm like, And then we snowball the next day and it's fine. And then and then you get back at 9. So
So we predicted when you were gone how you would be when you get back.
Yeah.
What stories you would have.
We made 3 predictions each, and so I think we tick them off and see what we scored out of 6.
okay.
One of the predictions was that you DJ'd at a club.
I did not. I tried very hard. So in Japan on the street, there's a lot of like hustlers, especially in Tokyo. They on the main like red light district strips.
Yeah.
They so many clubs, so many bars, like anything that you'd want on a night out is there. They're always asking you like, oh, come on, come inside, come for a drink, like, or like there's chicks asking you if you would like a special kind of massage.
Yeah.
For like tense shoulders.
Yeah. Yeah. Shoulders being hips, but in between the shoulders.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so there was this guy. He didn't. Everyone was trying to hustle you so bad, but then there was this one guy. He was just like, "Hey lads, like there's a DJ bar here," and like after everyone would ask, I'd be like, "No," and then this guy was like, "DJ bar," and I was just like, like look at this guy. I'm like, "Yeah, what's this about?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, there's a DJ bar here." I'm like, "Oh no shit, I've done a little bit of DJing back home in Australia." He's like, "Oh really? Like come on down. Like you don't have to come tonight." Like it was very like calm. So I took a photo of it, and then one night, and I was just by myself roaming, and I tried to find this bar, and it was closed. So
It wasn't meant to
I like
be.
had my USB. I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Damn.
Maybe if you did get in and you DJ'd, you never would have come home. Bit by bit, you always plan to go home after this job, but then another job comes up, and then you just never end up coming home.
So that was one of the predictions.
So 1 point, not.
Not me.
And then so my first prediction was that your voice would be deeper.
Real? Is it?
No, it's not deeper.
It's exactly the
I
same.
think my voice hasn't changed. My voice has been like this since like year 9, 10, which for context is 6 years ago.
So George's next prediction was that he reckons you've captured a lot of sick footage of Tokyo.
Really? Is that what I said?
Yeah.
That's such a boring
That was your
one.
first one. Yeah. I was like, okay, I'm playing it safe. Would you say you've captured sick footage? Yeah.
Nice.
My next one.
I hope so.
I already asked you this one because I was too excited, but I predicted that you would have an experience with a monkey.
With a
Japan.
monkey, I feel like you would only see a monkey in the mountains. So where we were staying in Hakuba was about a 3-hour bus from like the hot springs that had monkeys.
Yep.
So no, but we were in Tokyo and we had like a little sit down play with otters.
Otters.
true.
Damn.
Yeah, it was fucking
Nice.
sick. They're so cute.
My final prediction.
Do you remember what was my final one?
My final prediction was that your mentality would shift about reality.
Reality.
Hmm.
I feel like I'd have to think about that one a little bit.
Do you remember your other one?
No.
We'll count that as a negative point.
Didn't I say that you like shaved your head?
What?
I think you were joking. You did say that, but I don't think that was one of your predictions. Oh, that was your last prediction. You were thinking again. You thought Blake would come back with a tattoo.
Is that it?
Ah.
Japanese tattoo. I think so.
Oh, okay.
You're disappointed with your own.
Yeah, I've been disappointing in all my answers.
I want tattoos, but my mentality going to Japan was like, I won't get a tattoo yet before Japan, so that I could chill in the onsen and not have. But it's like when we got there in Hakuba, it's like it was the whole Hakuba place was like very Perth. People in Perth owned it.
Oh,
What?
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. So the ski lodge that we were at, so it's like a communal lodge. You know, we've got separate rooms, and each room has like a little bathroom, and
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you
yeah.
can do everything in your room.
Mm-hmm.
That place was owned by, I believe, they're from Perth. My mate's family friends.
Owns it.
That's insane. They probably fly back and forth whenever.
Anyway, a lot of the staff community is very Australian based.
I do have a wildly inappropriate question that I was going to run by you before it's bringing it on. Yeah.
Okay.
But
Go on.
as a taken man in Japan, how do you go about masturbating when you're with a group of boys so big and you're all sleeping in the same rooms? How does that happen?
It's okay. First week was all right. Right? First week was all right. And then there's like 8-9 of us in Tokyo at least. First like 4 or 5 days are fine. You know, we can be chill. Yeah. And then
All the boys started to feel the same.
it's like we're just chatting, you know. It's like, oh, I'd be like, oh, have you done it yet? Like,
Oh, really?
and then it would become this just normal because it's like no one would say it, and then like someone says it, and it's like, oh, it's like, but then towards the end of it, it's like
Just had
almost
a
like bagging someone out for doing it. It was pretty normal by then.
What, would you go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
the jets come on.
The what?
The bidet.
Well, no. I should have filmed my first reaction to the bidet, but it wasn't that surprising. It was just like, oh,
Oh, my ass is clean.
it's nice and warm.
Did you have to share a bed with any boys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever wake up like bricked up?
Not that I recall, but okay. So in our Tokyo
These questions are
accommodation,
wild, Jack.
there was 4 very thin flat mattresses that were like on the floor, and then there were 2 double beds. So that was meant to fit 8 people. So we'd squish the doubles together, and we had someone in the double, and then someone would sleep in the crack between the 2 beds. Yeah, and I was like there most of the times because I'd be like last home
Oh,
because I'm on a night
no.
out and I just keep drinking with like random Aussies,
Yeah.
and then get home and
Just
just
crash in
fucking
the middle.
pass out in the crack of the bed.
So,
I have some gifts.
some gifts.
It's a
Flex
bit of a
them,
funny
man.
story. So
Oh, door.
okay.
start with these. Okay, so this is like a tourist thing. Okay, so I got each of you little like name
that's
tags.
good.
Ah.
So George.
Nice.
Wait, what?
It says your name.
It's got my name?
But funny enough, it's made in China. So, and I got one for the studio.
Oh, that says
So-
sizzle.
Frank.
Oh,
let's go.
That's how you spell Frank in Japanese.
In kanji. And
Thank you for
I
that.
searched everywhere for sausage-related things in Japan, and the only one that I found was the little gotcha ball machine.
Gotcha.
So, if we want to open these now,
Oh, okay. What is it?
It's a hot dog. It better be.
Yeah, it's a little dog.
So, George, you got medium-sized, thin.
I got medium-sized
I
thin.
got short but thick. And Blakey got big and thick. I wonder how accurate these are. Now that you're back, I feel like you might be a bit behind on certain news, trending topics, and current affairs. Shall we give you a little two truths, one lie regarding current going-ons to
What
catch you
if
back up?
you were back in the loop?
You're so thirsty, George.
I'm pretty thirsty.
First, what if
True.
for 2024 for Blake?
Yeah.
Wait, no, is that right?
Yeah.
No.
No, we drank one on
Oh,
the...
yeah, true.
I don't think we've addressed this in any episode yet, but we drank one in the 2 attempts we made at recording an episode before you left.
When we're sleep deprived.
When we were very sleep deprived. Yeah, we
We
did.
had water.
No, we drank a water for the first one. For the second one, we had water. When we were very sleep deprived, and they turned out to be trash episodes. But they are very funny.
And I spilt it.
Let's start.
So it's 2 truths, 1 lie. And
Yeah.
I have to tell the lie.
You have to figure out which one's the lie. Okay, here we go. In Madam Web, the new Spider-Man movie, the villain is killed by a Pepsi sign. The Sydney Zoo has announced they have a gay mongoose couple.
That sounds very Perth.
The Woolies CEO has stepped down from his job due to abuse from news outlets.
Okay, that doesn't sound too unrealistic. Fuck, this is pretty good. See, the CEO one of Woolies could be a trick question. They could have stepped down, but it might not be for that reason. I would like to think that there's a gay couple mongoose at the Perth Zoo. That would be awesome. So I'm going to lock that in as a truth.
Okay.
I hope.
Please let there be gay mongooses.
Like, we're all for it. So why not? I think the Pepsi sign is a lie.
You think the Pepsi sign is a lie?
You locking that one in?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you are incorrect.
Fuck.
Madam Web was pretty much entirely sponsored by Pepsi. It's all over the film. And the Woolies CEO has indeed stepped down from his job.
No gay mongoose.
Unfortunately, there is no gay mongooses.
That
in
we
Perth
know of.
Zoo. That we know of. They might have not come out yet.
They probably haven't
The
come
thing
out.
is, what inspired that story was that a zoo in Washington has recently announced that they have a gay anteater couple. So if that satisfies your query,
That's a good one. That's a good one.
then
I guess so. That'll do. That'll do.
round 2. Get more what if in you. Boost your intelligence.
You got to get prepared because this is a pretty good one. Fortnite was just bought by Disney. Russia has stated they have a cure for cancer. Starbucks is finally opening its first ever Perth store in July.
Fuck. Okay, so I think it's between Starbucks and Russia. Because I do believe Disney was... There's a lot of Marvel shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think the lie is Russia.
Okay, so Fortnite was indeed acquired by Disney. Vladimir Putin has indeed said that they have a cure for cancer. Starbucks is not opening a Perth store.
If only.
That's 2 incorrect. You reckon you can get round 3, Blake?
You're really out the loop here, Blake.
Yeah, you gotta.
You said things about Russia, not about Perth.
Hey, it's still relevant to. Cancer is everywhere.
So the one Perth thing, the 2 Perth things in both questions have been faked. This isn't about.
Hey,
fucking
I did say Western news.
Mate, there's nothing going on in here. Now, this third one, I don't even know.
Yeah, I did
So
this
Jack's on this one solo, so this will be interesting, actually.
one. Okay, you can both guess then.
Yeah?
All right. So MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, has just shown off new tattoos that black out his entire chest and arms. A new species of fish that eats light was just discovered. Or our mate Bromad's new song, Jungleware, as of recording this, is currently charting at number 4 on Beatport, right behind a Skrillex song.
Damn.
I think I might have my answer.
So MGK's black.
Yeah.
Bromad is
Charting.
behind Skrillex.
Mm-hmm.
Or
A fish that eats light was just discovered.
Eats light. That's mental.
it's no shot. It's light.
Is that possible?
That sounds fucked.
I'm going to say MGK.
I think the fish got discovered that it eats plastic. No?
I'm going to say the
That was a
MGK.
mushroom.
The MGK.
MGK? What are you looking in?
I'm really hoping that you're not lying about Bromad because that sounds fucking sick. So I'm gonna lock in the fish.
Bromad is indeed charting.
Let's fucking
Behind
go.
Skrillex.
Let's
No,
fucking go.
that's insane.
Let's
Big
fucking
up
go.
Between Skrillex and Eliminator.
Damn.
No shit.
MGK has indeed gotten blackout tattoos over his entire chest and arms.
You can't eat light.
Okay.
Yeah. A fish was not discovered that eats light, but how sick would that be?
That would be insane.
Eats light. You can
Like absorb
like
heat for energy.
photosynthesis.
You got one right. Well, a bit out of the loop, but hopefully we've helped to pull you in a little bit.
Well, speaking of topics, we wanted
Speaking
to.
of things to talk about,
Speaking of podcast subjects.
I think we should talk about the topics now.
So there's a lot going on in the world right now, as we just learned.
And you only got one right.
Yeah.
But
thanks, George.
but we wanted to
You got none, so
do you yeah,
sucks
that's
to
true.
suck.
0 out of 1 though. Is that better than 1 out of 3?
Yeah, because at least you get something.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're all winners.
Sora, OpenAI's new video generation program, is rapidly advancing.
I'm surprised I didn't hear anything about it in Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really watch the news at all, except on the trains.
Was it
There's
English?
fucking
though?
like little train news videos.
That's pretty cool.
You wouldn't be able to understand it, would you?
No, but it's fun to watch.
I mean, it's pretty mental. About a year ago, we were getting broken ass AI videos.
We were getting
that-
Will Smith
Yeah.
kind of
I've
eating
seen
spaghetti.
that video going around.
The comparison?
to now you got 2 perfectly
Yeah.
visualized golden retrievers sitting on a mountain having a picnic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the golden retriever at a laptop typing, and I couldn't believe that it was actually AI. I was like studying it, and I was watching his paws as he types. His paws are fully like, as he presses down, they're spread, and they've got the webbing between the paws. It was insanely detailed.
There's some videos that you can tell, like there might be a small fraction of the video where instead of moving a couple frames, it might blur between it very subtly.
But,
But
isn't
that's
it,
pretty fucking good.
for a year, it just kind of goes to show, like, give it 5 years.
Yeah.
Animated films, I don't think, will be having anyone
No,
creatively
like with
behind it.
Sora, they've destroyed the entire animation and graphic design industry. It's gone. It's done.
Is it?
Not yet.
Yes.
But what if
Not
you-
Absolutely.
yet.
You have programmers, you have technicians.
It's only limited amount of people are only able to access it because
For
they
now.
know it can do that.
For now, but think about it, right? You'll have the directors, you'll have the designers. No longer will there be the lower level riggers, modelers,
No.
animators. You won't have them
It'll be
anymore.
one guy sitting behind a computer doing
Yeah.
it. Every
You'll have
day.
all the creators.
It's only a single output video with no layers to it.
This is the this is the worst version of Sora that we'll ever see. So later, what makes you think you won't be able to break it up into the different models, different layers? Like he could generate that in an instant and then give you all the assets that it just
I
created.
feel like no matter what the prompt that you give it, it'll give it to you what you want in the description of the prompt. But if you want a specific thing changed about it, because I've noticed with the Dolly in ChatGPT where it generates images for you, if you want to change a certain thing, you'd be like, okay, can we have that exact same prompt, but can we just change this little bit in it? It completely changes the whole image.
Yeah.
So I feel like to some degree, you don't have full control over the exact amount of detail that you
Sure.
change. But what's to show, like, in the future, you might be able to say, like, airbrush, like, keep all this section, and then there's, and then you can, like, change the color to red, maybe, like, this.
True, yeah.
In red section, I want to change this to this.
Yep.
And it will not
It
affect
probably
the green
will.
areas.
And it'll probably be even more advanced than that as well. Like I saw
fucked.
there was this video and it was generated of like an astronaut standing there in like a white background, but he looked human. And the description only used 32 words. That was it. So eventually there's going to be less amount of words and you'll get more of a product.
Will you be able to get away with, like, criminal activity with this thing?
Well, people have. Taylor Swift, unfortunately, has fallen victim to it.
Really?
Yeah. Porn of her was created. And
Using this software?
Not Sora.
I thought that
though.
was old.
I don't think that was using Sora.
not
Sora-
using Sora, but
But it's video AI generated. Yep.
same sort of thing. And
That's fine.
I have a theory that Drake's recent cock leak is actually AI generated and not real. If you
And
were
you-
going to make a fake dick leak of a celebrity, who would you pick?
True.
That's true. And you know what? The smartest thing that Drake could have done was own it.
I don't think he has though.
Has he just not said anything?
He hasn't said anything.
Oh.
I've seen AI videos of him saying it, and I thought it was real. Where he's like,
Yeah,
where
on
he said,
stage.
I wasn't hiding my meat from the world. I was hiding the world from my meat. Yeah, it's all fake though. That's the scary thing. I fully believed that for a while, and I was like, I respect the fuck out of that.
Yeah.
And I opened comments. I was like, everyone's like, that's fake. Watch his lips. I'm like, oh, and I go back and watch it. I'm like, oh fuck, that's true.
I remember I woke up. This was while you were in Japan. I woke up and I was watching
woke
TikTok, and the Eiffel Tower was on fire. And I was watching videos, and it was going viral. The Eiffel Tower on fire, and I was like, and I found out it was all AI generated.
You know what's fucked about that is you can have the one video, but then if you want to further, oh, this could be evil. But like if you, it's like evil me thinking right now. It's like if you were to ask it, okay, give me a second camera angle, taken in a different quality aspect from a phone, e.g. Samsung or iPhone, like you switch it between the two, you leak both of them to the internet, and then it's a more believable story because like more people captured the.
And then you get
event.
one influencer on board to say they were there. Done. It's real.
You've just
It
created
happened.
an issue.
You created an event.
Imagine someone in Paris looking through TikTok, and they just say like, "It looks all right."
That's evil.
Yeah. And then that makes me think, what's going to happen to the modern legal system? It is now redundant. If you weren't there, you have no proof.
True.
And even if you were there,
Rely
there's
on
these-
witnesses though.
But it's like you've heard of like leading questions and all that. Like there are very specific ways you have to ask questions in courtrooms because if you ask it the wrong way, you create memories in people. So it's crazy. Like the modern legal system, evidence is redundant. It's not going to work anymore. And then eyewitnesses aren't reliable, and witnesses are biased as well, very biased.
Wow.
So
But I wonder how do you do that? Because when you ask the like in ChatGPT, DALL-E, you can't give it an image of someone and be like, "Can you put this person in a situation?" It's like you're not allowed to.
not
do
with that one, but they did it with Taylor Swift. So there are systems on the
How?
black web.
How the fuck does that happen?
Well, it'd be dark web AI.
It's the future, man. It's
Yeah.
scary.
And I have a hot take that I think this is a good thing.
really.
Yeah. I think especially regarding animation, I think it's a fantastic thing. And music, right? Because no longer do you need money and status and the means of hiring middlemen to bring your vision to life. No longer do you need to have the money to hire a modeler and a rigger and a concept artist to create these things you have in your head and make it a reality. Now, with the right practice, you can express yourself through art, people that were never able to do so before. Same with music. Because it's such a technical process to get there, we're now entering an age where people can more easily express themselves.
That's true.
It's true, but then it's still taking away from that creativeness.
Is it? Because you're still tailoring what it does. It's like, does CGI take away from hand-drawn animation? Not at all. It's just a brand new way of doing it.
I feel like it would wash out hand-drawn animation though. I feel like it's old saying, history repeats itself. So I feel like no matter what we do, the thing that we used to like will always come back. Like disposable cameras, old vintage photos.
That's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just always think without CGI, we never would have gotten Toy Story. So what amazing, life-changing experience are we going to get from Sora?
I mean, but also if you think about it, like if you look at any of the films that you can tell it's had so much work put into it.
And
you
soul.
can feel like, if for instance, look at Avatar, right? You could feel and see how much detail they put into the CGI, how much like work they put in for that. Whereas AI might not get to that level for a long time.
But the thing is, it's not individual love and passion. It's maybe 10 directors' passion and then all the middlemen that apply that. It's like you have James Cameron who has this amazing vision, and then you have these directors. One might be the environment artistic director, and then they can be very passionate about it, but then it's all the hundreds of middlemen that bring it to life through the complicated software. So you can just cut them out entirely now. And now you've got the director working.
But can you? Because they have the connections or knowledge about, for example, like certain ways that color on the eyes will affect a human's response, then that's why they will employ certain environments or colors to a certain, you might not think about it. Obviously, oh my God, that's a nice purple. But like, it's like when you watch the movie, that chemical reaction of seeing like the visualization of certain colors will affect your brain. And I don't think, I mean, AI could do it, but combining all those things, I feel like is what makes a human product good. I feel like AI will still be able to research, oh, red is a good color in the by the book definition of media. Like red will provoke anger or hunger or whatever it is. It's like it will employ that, but will it do it with other aspects?
It's a strange vision. It's a strange projected vision.
Vision Pro goggles.
Yeah,
We'll talk about Vision Pro goggles.
I was trying to.
Oh, nice.
Have you heard much about the Vision Pro goggles since being in Japan?
Well, I went to a bunch of stores and I didn't go to Apple.
Would have been cool because you might have seen them.
Yeah, I don't know. Thoughts?
I hate it. The scariest one I saw was this guy was watching TV, had an NBA game to his right, had like work on his left, and then he walked to the kitchen and there was like pinned recipes on his fridge, Gordon Ramsay tutorials playing.
So you can map.
You can map and you can pin things. So when you walk to that spot, it detects it.
Reminders? Could you imagine setting reminders around your house?
But that means you'd have to wear the goggles constantly.
Yeah.
But that's it.
That's what
they
they want.
That's what they want. And the scariest thing
That's what they want.
is when the iPhone was released, everyone shitted on it. It was like, what is this shit? Like, a lot of people were like joking about it, like, oh, touchscreen, like it's not gonna. What is this thing?
Like I need a button to press.
Every single person has a touchscreen phone, basically.
They've purposely made it so that you need it all the time. It'll be like, when you go to take a shit and you're like, oh, fuck, I don't have my phone.
Yep.
Like, you can't even leave the room in the one house without your phone. You'll be like, that'd be like, oh, I might be forgetting something that I mapped here. Oh, fuck, I better put on my goggles.
Damn.
You won't be able to shit without Apple goggles. And you'll be like wiping and just smear shit on the wall.
Oh fuck.
I feel like it's good. It'll open up a lot of aspects for productivity, but I feel like, I mean, we've been going this way for a while, but the world is going into a dependent society with technology.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
This dopamine addiction
Oh,
is
dude,
crazy.
I saw it in Japan a lot. It's like a lot of kids with iPads.
Every kid has an iPad.
It's a really bad one. There was a kid. He had his iPad like this, and he was watching it, but his arm was linked to his mum, so she was walking around like looking at what to do and everything. And he didn't take his eyes off the iPad at all to check his surroundings to see if he would trip or anything. Any person or anything. I was watching it for like a little bit, not being weird or anything. I was just like, just observing. And for the 30 seconds that I was, looking in the general direction, he did not take his eyes off of the iPad. He was just linked, and it was like a busy train station.
Jeez.
And the train stations in Japan are hectic. You kind of stay in line, do your thing, otherwise get the fuck out of the way. People have to be places. And this kid is just glued to his fucking iPad.
Damn.
So sad.
It's criminal.
And the only way he knows where he's going is he doesn't have to do anything. He's just linked.
You can imagine growing up, like, his brain's going to be so stunted. He's just going to have no idea. Like, you imagine one time he forgot his iPad, whatever, or he missed the train, and now he's on the later train, like, coming back from work as an adult. He's coming back, and he has no idea how to be street safe. Bro's going to fucking die immediately.
I mean, you could relate that to that I feel like that's just the way that kids are going to be brought up now. It's like every kid is going to want the Apple Pros for their birthday. And then the kids that have it will be like cool and whatever. I mean, that's with any new phone, right? Kids have always really done that. Or the new iPad, or the new game, the new PS4, the new whatever it is, new technology. You're going to be, I guess, like a social system. Like, you're going to be seen highly amongst your friends if you have said product. But once you have it at such a young age, your brain develops in a way where it's dependent on said product. What happens when you lose it?
Yeah.
And when it comes to kids having iPads or iPhones at an early age, I feel like I would definitely be an old school parent and be like, you're not having a phone until you get to high school, mate.
But will they hate you for that?
But that's what I mean. I feel like,
And then will you have to cave in and be like, fine?
I think it's just the thing of if our generation is wanting to imply this to our kids, they've got to prepare.
But you know what? Is it fair that you get your iPad, you get your PlayStation, your phone, and they don't?
Well, I've always said, I'll be happy if they had like a gaming system like I had as a kid. Fucking have a PlayStation, go for it.
There's
but
a community aspect with
a
that.
phone or like an iPad, as soon as they get that, that's it. Like they're gone.
The thing is, I understand why parents do it. Like working at a supermarket, you see some of the most awful children.
But that's because you can't be strict with your kids anymore. Otherwise, you'll get fucking shamed about it.
But it's like sometimes it's not even the parents' fault that the kid's like that. And then, so what the parents, they cave because they're exhausted. They give them an iPad and it shuts them up. They're like, thank fucking God.
So if you guys were parents, would you guys give your kids an iPad?
I'd have a kid and then I'd like kill myself. So I don't have to deal with it, but at least I had a kid. And then I'd always be like, I wish Dad was here, you know? So I'd never live to disappoint my own kid.
But would they grow up worse?
They'd probably grow up
I
hating
don't know,
you.
I'll be too dead to care. Honestly, I talk to my misso. If we were to have kids, I feel like I'd take a big step back from work. I'll have like millions of dollars, so I'll be like comfortable. And we'll have a place, kind of country, kind of like what Kalamunda is like now, but it won't be like by the time we have kids, but like a place where you're not in the hustle bustle, and we would have a lot of animals.
Yeah, like I can imagine like any kid that is raised the way that we would like to raise them, not giving them technology. They go to school and all the kids are probably, or even like if you look at the schooling system now, they use iPads.
Yeah.
I don't know
school.
if I agree with sending my kids to school. I'm going to be honest.
Really?
Really?
Schooling system's fucked.
But think about how many mates they will make.
But think about this. My kid is going to be autistic and Ranga. He's going to get bigger guy. And they're likely going to be triplets, so there'll be fucking 3 of the fuckers. So the thing is, they're going to struggle in school. School is made for neurotypical kids to sit down in a class as if all kids are the same, and it's just designed, I'm slurring hard ways, to make them good at following rules, not good at creating.
I don't know. I don't think I really want. In my current state of being, I don't want kids in the future. But if I were to have kids, and to some degree, you're going to be hated if you're not going to give your kid something that they really desire and all their friends have. Because I experienced that. I was never able to go out without being questioned, and I hated that. And I mean, it keeps me safe in a way, but I feel like I wouldn't employ that on my kid. But in the long run, it made me, I guess, a better person than I could have been. I mean, I could have done things with people that would have been questionable, maybe illegal, but, you know, if I went down that path, it could have been different to how I turned out now. So I feel like it's like parenting is such a weird thing. It's like you hate it. You hate some things that your parents do, but then you get to the point in your life where you realize maybe it wasn't such a bad thing that happened, but that time that it's going to take for them to fucking understand that, from the point of saying no to them realizing, hey, it wasn't so bad. Does the positive of said realization outweigh the negative feeling for so many years? That's
That's why I think absolutely, because as a parent, you have to sacrifice the fact that you're not going to be loved all the time, but you're going to have to do what's right for that kid.
but no one's loved all the time.
As a parent, you have to sacrifice the fact that you can't do what's going to feel good. You got to do what's right. You got to make your judgment on that.
Exactly.
I do think, though, kids are quite intelligent. And I think if you were to give these things to them, but just talk to your kid as though they're an adult and like explain these things to them, I feel like that would go a long way.
I feel like kids are intelligent because they have technology. If you were to give a kid updated technology every year, they'd be so much smarter, but dependent.
Well, they'd be good at adapting to new systems.
But would they, or would their emotional system be damaged because they always got what they wanted?
It's one or the other. You're smart, but you're emotionally fucked, or you're emotionally not fucked, but you're dumb.
I feel like life's all about balance, and you can have both.
Damn.
That's it.
You know, all this talk has made me realize that we are those older people that hate all the new technology.
Yep.
You know how older
Damn.
people are always like, oh, it's the phone. That's why you're depressed. It's the phone. And we're like, it's not the fucking phone.
Yeah.
That's us now. It's the Vision Pro. Of course you killed yourself. You spent your entire life in the Vision Pro. And they're going to be like,
They're like, no, it's productivity, Dad.
Yeah.
how crazy is that? We've become that.
We've slipped into that next generation.
Yeah. Damn. It's all the same. And I think I said this. Did I say this on the show before? That I will happily be that old man at the family reunions that they sit in the corner because he hates the furry extended family that come in their fursuits. And they sit him in the corner and say, don't talk to him because he's a bit mean. And if any of them comes to me, I'll be like, you should fucking burn alive because you want to fuck animals, you disgusting cunt. And I will stand by that forever. Furries should all die, right? But then that's just like what the last generation thought about the gays. That's exactly what
That's
they
it.
thought.
Yeah, that's it.
But
And-
I stand by firmly that if you want to fuck an animal, you should hang yourself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
But no,
absolutely.
Do all
I don't think
do
all
all
furries-
furries want to fuck
Yes.
animals?
Really?
Really?
They want to fuck humanoid animals. It's a
Oh.
stepping stone.
Oh, okay. So they don't want to fuck animals, but they want to fuck humans.
But then why are they attracted to humanoid animals? It's a stepping stone. It's like
It's
people that say...
bestiality.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
it's like people
That's
that
fine.
watch lolly porn. Have you heard of that?
No.
An anime character that's a 2,000-year-old
Oh, yeah, yeah.
witch, but she looks like a child because they live forever.
Oh.
But they're 2,000 years old, and you watch porn of them, they're like, they're not a kid. They just look like one because they're a fairy, but they're 2,000 years old. It's a stepping stone to pedophilia. You're just making
Jesus,
excuses.
Yeah, that's pretty gross.
Yeah, we went into a relating back to Japan.
Oh, no.
What? No, we didn't. Okay, pause. It's nothing like bad. It's all legal. We went into this like bookstore, and there was like a certain level that you know, it's a bit sexual. So you have all these like fucked like hentai books, and that's fine. But then there's like this really like fucked little section, and it's like all the intense shit. So like the front covers are like fucked,
Yeah.
like just everyone's nude. Like on the front cover, it's like all drawings, but you'd have certain books that look like children, and you're just like, you think it's funny. You're like looking around, and then you see it, and you're like, oh, definitely can't take that one back to Australia. That would be fucked.
Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, on part of the Australian declaration, and like for the import, you know, you have a slip that you have to do, and it's like, are you bringing any goods for business? And I said yes because I brought the lens, but it might not even work, so it doesn't matter. But one of them is like types of illegal pornography was one of them.
Jesus.
So moral of the story is the human race is doomed.
Yep.
Pretty much.
It's fuck. The more you think about it, like the more you realize how fucked humanity is and how doomed we are going to be.
And that's why I understand and really want to be religious. Because what an amazing way to escape that would be. You're like, but God's got me, but I'm safe. Everyone
No
else
matter
is
what
doomed, but I'm
happens,
fucking safe.
God's got me, man. I remember as a kid, I used to always pray to God to beat a boss battle. I'd be like, come on, God, please. I just need to beat this boss battle, and this is the last prayer, I swear. And like
You're
every
like,
single
I don't mind not sleeping for a week. You like try and
Yeah,
bug him. You're like,
yeah.
just let me please be.
just let me fucking like thinking about it now, it's like, I mean, I don't believe in God, but I think me saying that was like channeling myself to win.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that
yeah,
placebo.
I've got gods on my side. I'm like fucking
Got that
fighting
extra
this guy in a
motivation.
boss battle. Oh, shall we end this potty?
All right. Stay safe, people. Don't watch
Stay away
child
from
porn or
furries.
furry porn.
Yeah.
We'll be back next week with our first guest and a very special guest at that. We're gonna be wilding out next episode.
Oh, well, yeah, we're going to be feeling a bit filthy after that.
Sayonara.